Hey guys, in my last video yesterday, I was talking about getting my fuel pump assembly changed in my 2012 GMC Sierra. It's the same pretty much process for the Silverados and stuff as well in the Chevy line. So I just pulled the truck into the garage. We're going to throw it up on the lift. And there's another guy coming over. He's going to help me out. We're going to get this knocked out. So the original plan was going to take the bed off. It's leaking pretty much right under the front, the running board there on the back. We'll lift the truck up here and I'll show you exactly where the fuel's leaking and what you can expect. Just hop up under this truck and you can see I got fuel dripping already. But pretty much, you see the tank here, front of the tank, fuel's dripping off of that bolt right there. So we got to take the fuel lines off here. We'll probably have to drop the axle, move the axle over, but this is all fuel. And right up in here, it's hard to see with the exhaust, but right up in there, basically straight in the middle of the camera, if you run your hand up in there and you smell fuel on your hands, that's pretty much where it's leaking. And that top of that cap pretty much rusts out and the lines rust out up there. So this truck has a quarter of a tank of fuel right now. I burned some down yesterday. We'll have to drop this cover, take the straps off, drop the tank, get to the top of the fuel assembly there. We'll get that changed. Here's the part that I got. See the part numbers there. I got the ring for the top of it just in case the one's rusted out. Sometimes on the older ones like the 07s and stuff, they rust out a lot more, but we'll get this opened up here. So you can see the top of these are all metal. And I think basically what rusts out is like this tab here and the top of this. It sits in the top of the tank. Up here in the north we have a lot of salt and debris, so I'm guessing that's what happened. So we're going to get this replaced, and then this cap here pretty much sits on top to lock it into the tank. Sucks too because pretty much most of the pump and everything else is good in the truck. It's just the tops that rust out. So you have to pretty much replace the whole thing. This part was like 300 some bucks. And then the ring, you know, with a little bit of a discount. I got this one from Napa. I'm sure you can get them from Advance or CarQuest as well. Or even from GM Direct. First things first, take the cover off, which is like 3 bolts. I believe they're 13 millimeter. That exposes the tank. Disconnect the fuel lines. Get the fuel lines disconnected. After you take the, you can take the drive shaft off. Give yourself a little room to work. So the next step then too is disconnect the filler neck so that we don't bind up when we drop the tank out. And then there's 3, looks like 15 millimeter bolts for the tank. All right, so we got the first strap off, which as you can see, it just pulls right out. There's 1 bolt basically right in about the middle of the tank. You can see that there. And they have these nuts on there on the top that basically just fits like that. Well, on the back strap, we went to unloosen it, and now the nut's spinning on top and you can't get to it. See, that's loose. What we're going to have to do is get the multi-tool, cut the bolt off. And you got to be careful cutting with anything that creates sparks because there's fuel everywhere right now. But we're going to get the multi-tool and take the bolt off to get this back strap loosened. Sometimes that happens. Everything else came out pretty smooth. But this is a joke, the way that these are set up. And the way that, hopefully you can see it, but this nut spins inside the back of here. So all it has to do is round that out and you're pretty much screwed. There's no access to it from either side. So I don't know if there's any tricks, if anybody has a trick to doing that, but we'll have to cut that bolt off and put a new bolt in. Well, so we got it. We had to spray it down and bust it off with the air chisel. And we hit it with the grinder a little bit. We had to be careful. We sprayed it down with water. Try to prevent a fire with that bolt. We got knocked off, so now we just got to pull that out and get that strap off. So if you bust this bolt and cut this bolt off like we did, we got a new clip. They're going to give you that much room to work with, and you can't get into it from the top. So we had to torch out the old bolt, pull that out, got the new clip on there. We're gonna put new clips on both sides. All right, so we pulled the tank out. Basically, you just gotta, we lowered the tank about 4 or 5 inches. We got the strap off. What we basically have to do now is, I'm actually gonna buy new straps because they're 30 bucks and you get the bolts and everything with them, since we had to cut the back bolt off of this side. But we're gonna clean this up, and as you can see, everything's rusted out on top. So I got a new ring, a new pump top. Just disconnected the hose. There's a hose clamp here, fuel line, breather there, and that's pretty much it. Lower the tank out, put the new pump in, clean this all up, raise it back up in with the new straps. So this ring, just a little left turn on it where it pops up. So just spin it this way, hit it with a screwdriver or an air hammer like we did. And this will pull out. See that? Clip this line on, push that down, push this on. Look at that, how that's nice, right in the way of this tube. Those engineers that build this shit. All right, so we got the tank back up in, and you can see everything's sitting up in there. Got the new strap. Well, we didn't get the new straps, but the store told us they had them and they didn't have them, so put the old straps back in there and just got another bolt and some clamps. Basically just connect everything where you disconnected it, your fuel lines. Put the hose clamp on the main inlet, and now we're down to the covers. Then the last step, once we get the cover back over top of the fuel tank, which is only those two or three bolts, just got to bolt the axle back up, which we bungee corded to the side here, just to get it out of the way. That's about it. All right, so I'm back at the home garage. Got that done. Really appreciative of Brian for staying and helping on a Saturday and offering to do that for me and give me a hand with that to get that done, so I didn't have a side of my vehicle for the weekend. So that was really cool. And yeah, just cool things, man. Cool people. So the fuel pump should be good. They don't engineer cars the way that they used to, that's for sure. It was a pain having to pull that bolt out and everything out of the frame, but we got her done. No leaks, ran good. Check engine lights cleared. So we should be good for a little while now, till the next thing goes bad. But I appreciate everybody for watching, and we'll follow up with another video here soon on some other project, I'm sure. Take care, everyone.